There's a kind of woman who doesn't need to speak loudly to be heard, doesn't need to dress extravagantly to be seen, and doesn't need constant attention to be remembered. She moves with quiet confidence, radiates effortless charm, and somehow manages to stay in people's minds long after she's gone. Maybe it's in her eyes, maybe it's in her smile, or maybe it's just the rare magnetic energy she carries. But whatever it is, it's unforgettable. People notice her, they feel her presence, they turn to look when she walks by and scroll through her social media without ever liking a post. They listen when she speaks, but even her silences say something. She's the kind of woman who holds herself with grace, speaks with purpose, and doesn't seek validation, because she already knows her worth. And yet, most of the time, no one tells her this. They just watch. They admire from afar, too caught up in their own hesitation to ever say it aloud. Maybe they're intimidated, maybe they're enchanted, or maybe they simply can't find the right words to describe what makes her so captivating. She doesn't beg for attention. She attracts it. She doesn't chase people. She draws them in. She doesn't perform. She simply is. And that is more than enough. This kind of woman is a quiet storm. She's soft and fierce, mysterious and warm, strong yet graceful. She makes an impact without trying. Her style is subtle, her confidence natural, her vibe unmistakable. People often copy her, crave her presence, or feel strangely drawn to her without fully understanding why. She doesn't need to do too much. Her energy does the work for her. If you've ever wondered why people stare at you a little longer, why strangers open up to you, or why others seem to remember you even after just one meeting, this list might be the answer. Here are 20 subtle signs you're the kind of woman people can't stop looking at, but never tell. The kind of woman who doesn't even realize how unforgettable she is. Let's step into that quiet power of yours and name it for what it is: magnetic, undeniable, and entirely yours. 1. There's something captivating in your eyes. There's something about your eyes that draws people in without them realizing it. It's not just about color or shape. It's the way they hold emotion, speak silently, and make others feel seen. Your gaze lingers just long enough to spark curiosity, yet it carries depth that feels personal. People find themselves looking at you longer than they intended, not because they want to, but because they're caught in something unspoken. Your eyes reflect your confidence, your secrets, and your story, all at once. It's a silent connection that pulls others in, even when you're not trying to be noticed. 2. People notice you wherever you go. You have a presence that naturally grabs attention the moment you walk into a space. It's not about being loud or flashy. It's in the way you carry yourself. There's an energy around you that people pick up on, even if they don't fully understand why. Whether you're walking through a crowded room or just standing in line, eyes instinctively follow you. It's the combination of your confidence, expression, and subtle charisma that makes people take a second look. You don't have to try to be noticed. It just happens, quietly and effortlessly, everywhere you go. 3. Your confidence shines naturally. Your confidence isn't loud or forced. It's quiet, steady, and deeply rooted. It shows in how you speak, how you move, and how you handle situations without needing validation. People can sense that you're comfortable in your own skin, and that comfort radiates in a way that draws others to you. You don't need to prove anything to anyone, and that calm self-assurance makes you magnetic. It's not arrogance, it's grace. You own your space without demanding it, and that natural glow of confidence speaks louder than words ever could. 4. You stand out even in simple clothes. Even when you're dressed in the most basic outfit, Something about you still turns heads. It's not about labels or trends. It's the way you wear what you wear. Your posture, your aura, and the way you carry yourself add life to anything you put on. A plain tee and jeans on, you don't look plain. They look intentional. You don't rely on clothes to define your beauty or presence, because it comes from within. That effortless charm makes even the simplest look feel elevated, and people notice you not for what you're wearing, but for how you wear it. 5. People look for excuses to talk to you. There's something about your vibe that makes people want to be around you, even if they don't know what to say. They might ask unnecessary questions, make small talk, or find silly reasons just to start a conversation. It's not about what you're doing, it's about how you make them feel. You seem approachable, yet intriguing, and that combination makes people curious. They're drawn in by your presence and want to be part of your energy, even if only for a moment. Whether it's admiration, interest, or just comfort, they'll find a reason, any reason, to talk to you. 6. Your body language is graceful. Your movements have a calm, natural elegance that people can't help but notice. Whether you're walking, sitting, or simply turning your head, there's a fluidity in the way you move that feels intentional without trying. You don't rush or fidget. You move with purpose, and that brings a quiet kind of confidence. Even in silence, your posture speaks volumes. There's a softness in how you carry yourself that feels both strong and gentle at the same time. This graceful body language draws attention, not through drama, but through quiet poise that stays with people after you've walked away. 7. You smile for no reason. Your smile often appears without a specific reason, and that's what makes it so captivating. It's genuine, unforced, and comes from a place of inner peace or quiet joy. People notice it because it feels rare in a world where so many smiles are worn like masks. Yours is different. It lights up your face in a way that softens the space around you. It makes people wonder what you're thinking, or what beautiful thought just crossed your mind. That kind of effortless smile feels like a breath of fresh air, and it leaves a lasting impression without you even realizing it. 8. Your hairstyle or look is memorable. There's something about your hairstyle or overall look that lingers in people's minds. It doesn't have to be bold or unconventional. It just suits you so perfectly that it becomes part of your signature. Whether your hair is loose, tied up, curly, straight, or somewhere in between, the way you wear it feels authentic. People remember how you looked, not because you were trying to be noticed, but because your style feels so you. It complements your energy, your face, and your expression in a way that stands out quietly. Even after you leave, the image of you stays with them. 9. People turn to look when you walk by. When you walk into a room or pass by someone, there's often a subtle shift. Heads turn, eyes follow, even if just for a second. It's not always about appearance. It's the combination of your energy, presence, and the quiet confidence in your stride. You don't walk like you're seeking attention, but you move like you know exactly who you are, and that alone is magnetic. There's a natural rhythm to the way you carry yourself that draws attention without trying. People might not even realize they're watching you until you've already passed, leaving them with a quiet sense of curiosity. 10. Your presence is felt in any room. Even before you speak, people feel that you're there. It's an energy that quietly fills the space. Strong but not overwhelming, calm but impossible to ignore. You don't need to be the loudest or the most active person in the room. Your presence speaks for itself. It's in your posture, your expressions, the way you listen, and the subtle confidence you carry. People notice you, even from across the room, and somehow feel your vibe without a word. You bring a certain warmth, depth, or intrigue that changes the atmosphere, simply by being there. 11. You come across as independent and strong. There's a quiet strength in the way you carry yourself that tells people you don't rely on anyone to define you. You make your own choices, trust your instincts, and handle life with resilience, even when it's tough. You don't need to prove your independence. It shows in your calm, your clarity, and the way you hold your ground. People sense that you're someone who can stand alone, not out of pride, but out of self-respect. That kind of strength is rare and deeply attractive. It draws others in while also making them respect your space. 12. People quietly check your social media. Even if they don't interact with your posts, people find themselves curious about your life online. They might scroll through your pictures, read your captions, or watch your stories without ever liking or commenting. There's something about you that makes them want to know more. How you think, where you go, what you care about. You don't overshare, but what you do post feels real and effortlessly intriguing. It's not about being flashy, it's about the quiet charm you bring, even in a digital space. Your online presence lingers in their mind, just like you do in person. 13. There's a mystery about you. You don't lay everything out for the world to see, and that makes people curious. There's a certain depth in your eyes, your words, or even your silence that leaves others wanting to know more. You reveal just enough to be engaging, but not so much that people feel like they fully understand you. That subtle distance creates intrigue. It's not that you're hiding anything, it's just that you're not easily read. You carry your thoughts and emotions with care, and that quiet privacy becomes magnetic. People sense that there's more beneath the surface, and they're drawn to the mystery. 14. You speak calmly and clearly. When you speak, there's a calmness in your voice that immediately puts people at ease. You don't rush your words or try to dominate a conversation. You speak with intention, and that makes others want to listen. Even when you're passionate or emotional, there's a steadiness in your tone that shows control and confidence. You choose your words carefully, and that clarity makes what you say feel meaningful. People notice how effortlessly you express yourself without needing to raise your voice. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it that leaves a lasting impression. 15. You hold eye contact with ease. You look people in the eye with a quiet confidence that says you're present, aware, and unafraid to truly connect. It's never too intense or uncomfortable. It's steady, calm, and real. When you hold eye contact, it makes others feel seen, maybe even a little exposed, because there's honesty in the way you look at them. You don't avoid, gaze, or fidget away, and that alone sets you apart. It shows self-assurance, openness, and strength all at once. People remember that eye contact long after the moment has passed because it made them feel something real, even if they can't explain it. 16. You love yourself unapologetically. You don't seek approval to feel good about who you are. You already know your worth, and it shows. There's a quiet, powerful kind of self-love in the way you carry yourself, one that doesn't need validation or applause. You embrace your flaws, your strengths, your quirks, all without apology. That kind of self-acceptance isn't loud. It's calm, grounded, and magnetic. It inspires others, even if they don't say it out loud. You don't shrink yourself to fit in or dull your shine to make others comfortable. You simply exist as you are, and that's exactly what makes people admire you. 17. You bring your vibe wherever you go. No matter where you are, you carry a unique energy that subtly shifts the atmosphere around you. It could be calm, warm, bold, or playful, but it's unmistakably yours. You don't need to say much or do anything special. Your presence alone adds something to the space. People feel it when you walk in, a quiet confidence, a certain peace, or a spark of intrigue that lingers. You don't adjust yourself to match the room. Instead, the room adjusts to you. Your vibe isn't something you try to create. It just flows from who you are, and people naturally respond to it. 18. You pay attention to the little things. You notice details that others often overlook. Small changes in someone's tone, a subtle shift in energy, or the way someone's eyes look a little more tired than usual. You remember names, compliments, or tiny moments that seemed insignificant at the time but meant something. Whether it's how you dress, speak, or care for others, there's intention in what you do. That attentiveness makes people feel valued and seen, even in the smallest interactions. It's a rare kind of presence, the kind that quietly says, "I notice and I care." And that alone makes you unforgettable to the people around you. 19. Others try to copy your style. People may not always say it out loud, but they notice your style and often try to mirror it. Whether it's the way you dress, speak, carry yourself, or even the little habits that make you you, others subtly pick up on it. It's not just about fashion, it's about the overall vibe you give off. There's something original and effortless in your choices that people admire, and sometimes they try to recreate that magic for themselves. Even if they don't get it exactly right, the fact that they're trying says a lot. Your presence leaves an impact worth emulating. 20. You make an impact without saying a word. Even in silence, you leave an impression. There's something about your presence, your expression, your energy, your stillness, that speaks louder than words ever could. People notice you without needing a reason, and they remember you without knowing why. You might be standing quietly in a room, and yet somehow you're the one they feel drawn to. It's the calm in your demeanor, the strength in your posture, or the softness in your eyes that lingers. You don't have to try to be seen or heard. Your essence does the talking. And that silent impact is often the most powerful of all. If you saw yourself in even a few of these signs, know this: the way people respond to you isn't accidental. There's something real and rare about you, something that doesn't need to shout to be seen. You hold a kind of presence that lingers, and whether or not people ever admit it, they feel you. In your silence, in your smile, in your strength, they notice. And though they may never put it into words, you are the kind of woman they don't forget. But here's the thing. You're probably not even trying to be any of this. You're not crafting an image or calculating your effect. You're simply living, being true to yourself, doing what feels right. That's what makes you magnetic. The authenticity, the effortlessness, the quiet refusal to dim your light or be anything other than who you are. And yet, people observe. They study you from a distance. They're drawn to the way you carry yourself, the calm in your chaos, the strength in your softness. They admire the way you don't seek attention, but still receive it. They watch how you navigate the world, gracefully, boldly, silently, and it leaves an impression they can't shake. It's possible you don't even know the power you have. You might brush off the stares, the compliments left unsaid, the way people linger just a little too long in your orbit. But know this: your presence speaks volumes. You make people pause. You make them feel. And in a world full of noise, distraction, and artificial charm, you feel real. That's the magic. You are not just seen. You are felt. Not just heard. You are understood, even when you say nothing. Not just admired. You are remembered. And while they may never come right out and say it, you'll see it in their glances, their reactions, their energy around you. You'll feel it in the way they act differently in your presence. More aware, more curious, more drawn in. Because when a woman like you shows up, even in silence, she leaves something behind. So don't underestimate your power. Don't question your presence. You don't need validation to be valuable, and you don't need attention to be impactful. Keep showing up as you are, beautiful, grounded, whole. Because the truth is, you are already the kind of woman who turns heads, opens hearts, and stays on people's minds far longer than they'll ever admit. And that, in itself, is a quiet kind of brilliance the world needs more of.